I finally actually heard Sal's voice today in Cold
Yeah.
Steel. Um, holy shit, is that bad?
Oh no.
Sal's voice is fucking bad. Like, obviously this is coming off with me mainly pretty much only ever hearing Sal's voice in Japanese. All right, because
Yeah. Sure.
he's never really been voiced in America, like on the English side. Um, but his Japanese voice actor blows whatever the fuck English voice out of the water. The
That is
whoever they picked for him, uh honestly, I don't even know how he got through because this voice is not correct for him.
it was an interesting choice. I didn't have the same gut check reaction you did, but I also thought it was not of the same quality as a lot of his contemporaries.
Yeah,
This is Cao Li, right?
yeah, Sally, yeah,
Yeah,
White
yeah,
Orchid
yeah.
Dragon.
Um, I looked up who his voice was, but I can't remember anymore. Yeah, I wasn't blown away, but I also only heard a couple of lines at the very beginning, so I didn't get much of a sense of it. I
Yeah,
chalked it up
where
to
I'm at, he has like 4 or 5 actual like lines, like sentences, and it's
well, that's rough.
I'm just like, okay, so like I look at Sal, all right.
Oh no, it's Kaiji Tang. No, Kaiji
Is
Tang.
it really?
Yeah, Kaiji
Well,
Tang is bringing back performances. What happened?
they doubled up on him because Kaiji
Yeah, I
Tang's
suppose
also
so. Yeah.
Gaius.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
as much as Gaius has to say, also Gaius has been a pretty poor use of Yakaiji Tang as well. So he's been kind of super not underutilized, so much as like poorly utilized in this
I
series.
I like Kaiji Tang on Gaius. I think he does it really well. I think
Oh no! I don't think he does a poor job. I just think that
uh,
Gaius doesn't show. It wouldn't be the best use of Kaiji Tang, in
uh,
my opinion.
oh yeah. Well, let me tell you what, Sal Lee's not a very good use of Kaiji Tang either.
Yeah, like looking this back up, I am surprised to find this. Yeah, it's
He
I
does
don't
not
know.
play the glasses maniacal like asshole character very very well.
He just plays it up too heavy, I think, for me, anyways.
Um, uh, I am later on. The voice actress that plays Laura now, uh, gets a slight bit better. Not to a point where I much like where I'd prefer it over Marisha, but to not to a point, but to a point where she doesn't sound as like she's a fucking brick wall. Um, she has some okay lines later on where because I'm not even out of Act 1.
Mm, mhm.
I'm at the ass end of Act 1. I'm about to I'll be getting into fragments pretty soon. But
I have a ways to go still. I'm still in the Avalon Hills, so I'm on my way to Raquel.
yeah. So yeah, you're in the second part of Act 1.
Yeah,
Um
pretty much.
uh she's okay. She's okay now. I still prefer Marisha, like to and I know how weird it is to say that because she's not exactly the best voice actress, but I still prefer her.
No,
Um
I mean, if nothing else, we have
3 games of her, yeah.
3 games with her as Laura. It does feel weird to hear someone,
Yeah,
first
no,
of all,
I have
different, but
I have really big problems with consistency. If something changes, I'm like there better have been a really good reason for the change.
yeah,
Cause
and I'm still confused about it, but I'm sure there's a good reason.
yeah. Like, I honestly much prefer Ashley Birch over who we have for Milliam now. But
I don't think losing Williams such a big hit in 4. given her
I mean, yeah,
presence.
to be fair, yeah, but it was a big hit in 3 because
Yes, correct,
she was very prevalent in 3. I think
correct. And
halfway through 4, she gets, like, she does
she
get,
comes back a bit, yeah.
a bit more lines, but again, it's
This what's her, what's Milliam's press? What's a lot of people's presence like in what's it gonna be called? Reverie?
oh, no, I mean, pretty much all the main characters are main characters in Reverie.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Um, like, I think the only I so it's more Reverie's more about Crossbell and Cold Steel than it is about Sky. So,
Sure.
Joshua and Estelle and like a bunch of the Sky characters aren't as integrated into the actual story of it. You do get to play as them in the actual like Reverie corridor, um, but they're not as
And
they're
that's
not as
specifically why I asked, because I didn't have the most time to watch you play through that, and it was hard figuring out what was, or sorry, who was relevant and who was, for lack of a better word, gotcha.
yeah. So like Cold Steel characters relevant, um, and that's doubled up. That's doubled up. No. Cold Steel characters are relevant. Crossbell characters are relevant. However,
Mhm, okay.
and then you have the C's root characters are relevant. Um, which we will not say who C is because we all know who C is, but I will not spoil that over the internet.
Spoodlers, big
Yeah,
spoodlers.
Falcom has spoiled that already on a T-shirt.
Have they really?
Yeah, they put him without his mask on a T-shirt.
Why would you? Well, I mean, on one hand, yeah,
No,
I
no,
guess
it's
Japanese
not like
company, it's been out
not of
forever,
it's
but
not just him. It's like a cast of all the characters or whatever on one T-shirt. And this is like all Falcom characters too, so it has like Adel and all that stuff in it, but it also has C without his mask
oh,
on.
I don't know that I
It's
agree
like the
with that. Just
40th anniversary for like Falcom T-shirt, something like that.
just put his mask on. You get the best of both worlds. C gets to turn up, and everyone doesn't know it's spoilers.
Yeah. Um. Uh. I do have Laura in my party now, which means that everything's gone to easy mode. Um.
That's fair enough.
Because like with the master court setup and the court setup that I have on her, her basic hit damage is like 6k. Compared to everybody else
Oh
being like
wow, yeah, that doubles my current.
almost
Well,
2k.
it almost doubles my. It's hard to tell because my Ash crits so consistently.
Oh yeah. I see.
He is also doing
I'm not
6K,
using
but
Ash. I'm not using Ash because I have Sarah. I mean, I mean because I
I
have
didn't
Laura.
plan to use Ash, and then
No,
I
Ash is the big hitter. Ash is the big
I
hitter
tweaked
out of
like
the
2
mutants.
things, and he was just consistently doing 7K damage. I was like,
He, he he's
"Yeah,
also
fair."
he could also be turned into an invasion tank as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and then with Cirrus as a subquartz, he hits back
Yeah.
for a billion.
Um.
No, I'm still rocking with the 4 kids,
Well, yeah. I
Yuna,
mean,
Alpina. Actually, who's not in my party at the moment? I don't think
I think the
Eric.
only person I think the only extra person you get for that section is
You get a
whoever you
choice.
picked. It's
Yeah.
either Sarah Fee or who else? Sarah Fee and somebody else you get to pick.
Yeah, and I chose Fee because evasion
Yeah, I
tank
chose Fee
reasons.
too. Yeah, yeah,
I
same.
love Sarah to death, but Fee is just the better character.
hmm Uh, yeah, I'm on the ass end of the last part of Act 1, which goes into the fragment. Which this game has like 2 intermission chapters technically. Um, you have after Act 1, you have this thing called fragments, which is um basically the mission to get Reen.
Sure.
And then you have an intermission after Act 2. Um, and then you have finale. So there's technically I don't count fragments isn't actually very long because like it's literally just a mission to go get Reen. All right. Um, but it's a kind of a long mission. Um, with like fucking 8 billion boss battles. Um, you fight so many people in that fucking in that
Oh, I'm not
fragment.
surprised given where he is and who is literally standing directly in your path.
You you don't even know yet.
No, I can guess one, two, three, four. I guess four brings five and six with them. So, and then maybe Reen himself because of the condition. So, yeah, I imagine there are a number of folks.
Yeah.
Hey, if it means I
Uh,
get to hear more Alberic, yeah, I'm down for that.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
giant dickhead, but his voice is very pleasant to listen to.
I feel bad about. I actually blasted his voice actor when Cold Steel 3 came out. Because his voice actor spoiled who he was.
Oh, I remember you mentioning. God, that was years ago. No,
Yeah, yeah. No, I
yes.
mean, yeah, it was years ago.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was years ago. Oh, I
yeah.
don't like being able to say that.
Yeah. His voice actor spoiled the fuck out of who he was. He did delete it, cause
Oops.
cause everybody was like, "What the fuck?" But yeah. Like it would be different if he. No, honestly, he just shouldn't have said anything until after the game came out.
Correct. Or just
Um,
say I voice
no,
Black
he couldn't.
Albert.
No, he. I mean, I guess he could have said I voiced
And
Black
that's it.
Albert,
Say
and
nothing else. Literally just say that and smile to the camera.
yeah, because he posted a picture of him as well, and if you see the picture of
That's where you messed
Black
up. And
Albert,
I get it. I get because that's typically what you do, right? You go, "Hey
yeah,
guys, thanks for supporting me. It means a lot. I'm here to announce that I voice this character in this beloved show. I hope you enjoy
yeah,
it." Whoops! Turns out that character, amongst a few others, are maybe you don't do that.
yeah.
But
Maybe
again,
you,
how could you know?
yeah. And this is fair, but yeah, I know I I did. I saw that because obviously I played the Japanese version like way before the English version came out, and and I saw that and I was like, you're literally spoiling that character.
And it's a big reveal. So
um, but also speaking of Cold Steel voice acting, I mean, you saw the post that I added you with, right? With Joe Zyja or whatever.
yes,
He plays 14, and he's the voice of Kurt or whatever, and he likes to fucking voice different
he's a
characters, and
memer. It's great.
yeah. Moppy. I'm just like fucking
Chope. No, it's great. No, it's good stuff.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I did two things this week. All right, I
That's
I
more than
watched
one.
I watched Critical Role, and I
Good.
played Cold Steel 4.
Even even gooder.
Yeah, that's literally the extent of what I didn't even touch Vampire Survivors this week.
What's important
Uh,
to me is that you met poor Matt Soul, Pumat Soul.
no, 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 no. I am 91 episodes into campaign 2. They made
Oh,
Pumat
never
Soul like
mind.
before 10.
Yes, it's true. Sorry, I remember seeing you post something about that earlier. I
No,
guess I
I did.
misunderstood it.
I did because Pumat Soul joins the party for a little bit
Oh, that's true. That's true.
or whatever, and I was like, yeah,
I
I
love
fucking love
Pumat.
Pumat Soul.
I loved his introduction. That whole
Yeah,
section when
yeah,
he was
because
introducing the
everybody was like,
simulacrum.
they were like, they were no, honestly, the greatest thing about Pumat Soul's introduction is like when Matt started doing the voice, everybody on the cast was like, they were like, oh my god, we're finally getting a character that has this type of voice.
So great. Matt shows off so well how flexible he is as a voice actor.
Yeah, he's so
He
good.
needs to do more prelay work where he gets to do stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, oh, it's so good. But yeah, no, I'm 91 episodes in. I I s- went back to watching Critical Role. No, I went back to watching this campaign sometime like in the beginning of April, and I think I started it around like around the time of a certain death, and which is like I think around like episode 27 or something like that. But I went from that to 91. I'm like literally on 91 today. I have been
I don't remember how
binging.
many episodes there were, but I feel like
There's 143.
okay, so you're not quite as far as I thought you were, but
No,
that's
I'm
still
over halfway. I'm over
woof.
halfway. Yeah, no, like I listen to this while I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm like literally just like sitting watching. When I go to bed, I have it on. So, and like I try to figure out where I was when I like fell asleep. So like I gotta go back.
Yeah, fair, fair.
I think I've only skipped one episode, and that's only because they had audio problems.
Right, I remember you talking about that.
um, yeah, and then obviously I've been playing Cold Steel 4, and yeah, I mean,
Very similar to you. I've been playing a lot of Cold Steel 4. Unlike you this week, I actually did pick up Vampire Survivors finally.
hey, is
I
it
ran
because of
into a
Game
really
Pass?
weird, yeah, because it came to Game Pass exactly. I ran into a really weird issue.
What's that?
If I install it on my secondary drive, where I put my priority games,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to launch it through Xbox Game Pass, I blew screen of death.
Oh well, don't
I
don't
tested
put
this
it
3 times. I
put it
put it
on your
on my C
primary.
drive, and it was fine.
That's weird.
Turns out, this is a problem with Game Pass PC, or maybe just the Xbox app on PC, because I'm not the only person to have it, and it's not restricted to Vampire Survivors. So
Oh
that's not ideal,
no, it's not.
but I did get to play. Uh, Tremendously happy. I think I got like 4 or 5 different runs in before I finally maxed out the timer. That felt really good.
Yeah.
So strong. Oh my goodness, I love garlic so much.
Yeah, well, you'll learn later on that garlic isn't exactly as powerful as a lot of people make it out to be.
I'm sure it's not, but in
No.
the first 2 levels, it is if you max that out.
Oh yeah, I mean if you it's a really good early game thing or whatever, but it would be different if you were able to swap out weapons or whatever. If you can survive
Sure, sure,
without
sure.
having garlic or whatever, it's almost more worth to not go garlic. Um I've
Interesting to know.
I've tried a couple I've been trying to kill the Reaper because you can. Um
Oh,
uh
I didn't know that. I just like I it was so fast, and it was just so all over me. I was like, "Well,
you,
I accept this death, I guess."
you get a character if you kill the Reaper. You get the Reaper if
Well,
you kill the Reaper.
I will do that once I have more money and I have actual stats invested on my characters.
It's very tough. Um, there's no guaranteed way to actually kill him.
I believe that.
Um, I've resorted to uh, there's this one strat where you go rune tracer. Where well, first of all you have to have pretty much every stat except for magnet and cursor or whatever up on like the fucking stat screen that you have where you buy all the boosts and shit like that.
Sure, sure.
You need to have all of them, and uh, when you you start at the library and you grab the jewel that's on the table to get that first level up. If it's not rune tracer, then you restart because
Ooh, the tryhard strat's
you need
interesting.
rune tracer, and you have to start as Clarice, who starts with the holy bottle, the fucking Santa water.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and then you position yourself right above, north of the table, right next to like the pictures on the wall or whatever, because the rune tracer bounces back and forth off the chair to you. All right, and it keeps it there, which gives you like a front like pretty much a front shield at all times, and you stand there for
Okay.
30 minutes.
Oof, love the cheese, love it.
Then after that, you need to go pick up the red jewel, that dropped on the ground. Like when the Reaper shows up, you have to go find the red experience jewel, and there is certain there are certain level ups you need to get, because you get that red jewel or whatever, it'll immediately throw you up to a maximum enough level to max out all the weapons and stuff, or max out all the weapons you need.
Interesting.
Then there's a list of weapons that you want to get, or a list of weapons and passives you want to get. If you can't get them, then you get these certain weapons or whatever, and then there's a list of weapons you just don't want to ever have. All right. And then after you get that, you make your way back up to the table, picking up the treasure chest that you that dropped along the way, so you can evolve your weapons. And then you situate yourself to like the middle of the table to the north side, and you stand there and you hope to God that he doesn't get to you.
Strats.
Yeah, because one of the weapons that is needed is called the clock lancet.
Yes, because it'll
Um,
stop. It'll occasionally
it'll stop
stop
him.
units.
Yeah, it'll stop him.
Okay. It did dawn on me that that was probably going to be something you brought up, because the moment I looked at that as a level up opportunity, I was like, that seems really strong. That seems really, really strong.
It's not like busted. Like that's not busted in the fact if you were just trying to get from a 1 to 30-minute run. If you're just trying to do a random run or whatever, but if you're trying to kill him, it's needed. Because it'll stop
Now I
him
can kill the Grim Reaper in another game.
um, but I haven't beaten him yet. I've gotten to the point where I had all that stuff and I situated myself up there, but there's he can get to you still. So you just have to be lucky
Spooky. Okay.
and do
Well,
enough damage to kill him.
it's very cool. I dug it. It actually required a lot more attention of me than I was expecting.
Oh, once
That's
you get used to playing the game, like or whatever, it's like you don't even have to think about it half the time.
sure, sure. It's just a case of, oh, there's so many things on screen. I guess you can have a 2D Musou game. Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were what I got up to today. Or today. Goodness, I wish today. This past week.
Yeah. For any of you guys wondering, Leek is not here, because she is very busy at the time of recording, and so we are just doing this by ourselves today.
Yep. Just the two of us. Big shout
Just
outs
the
to Leek.
two
Love her
of
to death
us.
though.
Yep. But you know what is here today?
Go on then.
Little's question of the day, or his random whatever the fuck he wants to say.
All right. What do we have in Little's corner?
Um. Well, I was going to bully Leek this week, but I was informed of her lack of attendance this week. Okay, yeah. I told him that when I started to stream, because I knew he was going to probably say something about Leek talking about some Jolly Green Giant butt cheeks on Twitter last week, and he wanted her to draw them or something like that.
Oh, all right. Sure enough. Why not?
And probably was going to say something about her not playing Tales of Berseria.
That's more what I was expecting. Yes.
Yeah. So instead, I'm gonna vent for a second. Okay, this is, I guess, Little's venting corner.
All right. Lay it on us.
At the moment, I'm currently playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Because
Mm.
like Aqua, because like Aqua, I never actually finished the game. This is true. I haven't finished the game yet. All I've got to say about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is fuck no pawns and your 84 side quests. You can shove them up your tiny little furry holes. That's all.
Yeah. I also don't quite. I'm not keen on no pawns. They don't work for me.
Yeah, they don't work
No.
for me either. Also, P.S. Good progress this week, Dalit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I need someone cheering me on. No,
uh,
game's super enjoyable. As I have more time, I will get further and further along. I plan on running through this game at least twice. So
Yeah, there are some things that trying to think. There is some things that need to be done on a second playthrough. I think you can actually do everything on one playthrough. Um, but obviously it's easier on a second playthrough.
that's my
And
mentality. Yeah.
yeah, like I at the beginning of stream I was trying to because I'm in Crossbelt at the moment, which means I have access to the casino there, and I'm able to play blackjack and poker or whatever. And I was in the middle of like the computer fucking cheats when it comes to blackjack. I swear to fucking God. All right. Swear to fuck God, it cheats so fucking much. Um and I'm sitting here thinking I'm like the way it does is that you have 5 stars or whatever, and you have to win 5 matches in a row. All right. And or win 5 rounds in a row. And I'm pretty sure there's a trophy attached to this. But like halfway through, I was sitting here, like little was sitting here, like, why are you doing this? So I was like, I think there's a trophy attached to it or whatever. And then like I pressed the PS button on my controller, and it brought up Steam, and I was like, oh fucking right, I'm playing on PC. Who the fuck cares about trophies?
Exactly.
um. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything that really requires a second playthrough. It's not Cold Steel 2, which actually required a New Game Plus playthrough to get a secret cutscenes.
True. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think the only reason I ran through one, I didn't run through three, which is a shame. But the only reason I ran through one and two, or initially before I knew about that, was just to get the materials for everyone's best weapon and so on and so forth.
yeah. Oh, actually, Kuro does that. Kuro does that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kuro, you actually have to play the game twice. Because if I recall correctly, the Law Gray Chaos meter carries over into your next playthrough, and you need to get level 5 in each of those for secret monsters to show up in the final dungeon that will drop Black Sumerian ore that you use to upgrade to make the best weapons.
Okay, it's a staple, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to see it return.
Yeah, I mean, like, what, in 3 and 4 or whatever, you got Black Sumerian ore for doing like certain things or whatever, um, which allowed you to have like the greatest weapons or whatever. But I don't know if I think that's probably the only thing that would actually requires like a second playthrough. Is just
Sure,
because they
sure.
don't give you enough ore for your first playthrough. But as you know, the first fucking 30 minutes of this podcast is literally us talking about Cold Steel 4. We're gonna move on to news. We do have some news this week. It's pretty quick news week. But we're gonna start off with some shitty shit. This has nothing to even do with video games. But apparently 150 people have been laid off and 70 animation positions have been eliminated at Netflix. Because Netflix
Yeah,
is a piece of shit.
that's well. I mean, I definitely understand why. Like, this is super unfortunate, but Netflix is having a real rough time of it.
Because they're
Uh,
making shitty decisions.
it's not. I mean, yes, it does not help that they are actually making pretty poor decisions. The other half of that is when they were riding high, there was no competition. When everyone decided to make their own streaming service, I mean, that
Yeah.
did actually really, really hurt Netflix, especially HBO Max and Disney. Those two in particular have been the most detrimental to Netflix's continued success. And their numbers have really steadily been going down, both in terms of the company's value and the subscriptions, which I guess the subscriptions immediately impacts the company's value. So this is not a great surprise. It is, however, still awful to see. This is a lot of people who are suddenly out of work and have to find new work in an industry where that's not always the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah, but it also doesn't help that their PR is we're losing money because people are sharing passwords. They're not.
Oh yeah, no,
Um
that's absolutely that is a fucking inferno take that doesn't make any sense.
uh what they're actually losing money from is trying to say that they're going to restrict password sharing and also increasing the fucking price by an exorbitant amount.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I think the sharing of the passwords stuff, I think that would all blow over with enough time. Don't get me wrong, it's an inferno hot take. That is an awful take that they have, but that's something that people would have gotten over. The third price hike, I think, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous how much it's gone up. And honestly, the biggest problem is it's ridiculous for how much it's gone up for nothing having changed, and as a matter of fact, over the years, the service being worse to use.
Yeah.
So, if Netflix really wants to change things, their original products need to not be coin flips.
Mhm.
Because for every amazing product they put out, there are two or three absolute face plants.
I think there's only like 3 things on Netflix that I would even like subscribe to Netflix for, and I've already completed Breaking Bad, so I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Uh if Arcane comes back around and it's on Netflix still, I'll have to subscribe to that just for the month that it's out again. And
Fair enough.
this one's not even for me, but people like watching Stranger Things.
Which
So,
is getting a new season, I believe. So
yeah.
that'll be a big help.
But like everything else, like I mean Netflix has some anime that they've produced. Like Violet Evergarden was great. Um
It was. Their original animations don't tend to be very bad. I mean, I didn't hate Blood of Zeus, but I wasn't as taken with Blood of Zeus as everyone else. But like in general, their animations have gone over very well.
yeah, was Castlevania was really good.
Castlevania was, in fact, excellent.
Um I can't even remember what else they had.
Don't
I
worry
mean,
about it. Not important. Like
and
there are
Cowboy
some.
Bebop was. I can't even go on with that.
Don't hurt me like that.
Uh,
But at least Cowboy Bebop exists on it. There's a few things worth watching. I mean, Love, Death, and Robots is getting its third season, so that's always a fun watch. It's wild, but it is fun.
mhm.
I never heard how Disenchanted went over. Given all the firings, I imagine probably not well.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I didn't hear anything about Disenchanted, so I just assumed it was mediocre.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, point of fact, I understand why these these individuals have been cut, uh, but I hate that it had to happen. And frankly, Netflix isn't doing much to make people understanding of this. So
Yeah. And they have a lot of they have like you said, their animations have not been like horrible. So
yeah, I mean they're gonna get the Cuphead show if it's not already out. I know Big Mouth was popular. I don't know if it still is. I don't even know if that's necessarily a Netflix original show.
mhm.
Um, like they've been pretty good when it comes to animation on Netflix. What the little bit that they've had,
Yeah.
because it's hard to separate what is a Netflix animation versus what animations are on Netflix. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, not gaming news, but still relevant. Thank you for bringing it
yeah.
up.
Um Techland, they are a Polish gaming developer, most notable for like Dying Light and Call of Juarez. They are apparently developing a AAA open world fantasy action RPG with some former CD Projekt Red staff.
So this is a really neat thing to get to hear about because for all the same reason people were initially excited with um, were excited with Cyberpunk. Um, that's the reason to be excited with this. CD Projekt Red has probably gone through a full swap of their talent by now
Mm-hmm.
since the days of The Witcher 3. But those devs are the ones who are going to be working on this.
Yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
And up next we have Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary news is going to be coming next month. Who would have thought?
Hey,
News coming in June.
it's like it's the game news time.
Yeah. It says Tetsuya Nomura. He literally stated that we will be having some Final Fantasy VII remake news hitting next month as well. So it's gonna be pretty nice.
So I'm not crazy, right? There's nothing
Mhm.
else. It has to be news on part two. Yes? I think it
I
has
mean,
to be, right?
that
Like
fucking
shy of
crisis.
saying it's out on Steam. Like there's nothing else to say.
The they could be talking about that that not like um not First Soldier, but the Ever Crisis thing. They could talk about that technically. That like mobile game that actually goes through the entire like compilation storyline. That isn't like an actual mobile game, but it's like uh a mobile like version of just like the entire seven
Oh,
compilation.
yeah, you're talking about the one like they did with 15?
Yeah. Well, it's
Yes.
no.
No, this is a 7 version, but it's like what they did with 15 where they had the whole game again, but in this mobile setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
know.
but it
I
looks
think I know what
better.
you're talking about.
It looks
Does
better.
it?
Yeah.
I've only seen like maybe 2
Pocket
screenshots.
Edition looks bad.
It doesn't look great, so you're certainly right about that.
It's in like a like a high res text like a high res version of like um you know like the way the when you were playing the original Final Fantasy 7 how uh in battle looked like where like the characters actually looked like characters instead of like the
Yes,
blocky version. That's what that looks like throughout the entire game.
and that's really cool.
Um That's what that is, but I mean, we haven't heard anything about Ever Crisis since they announced it. So this could be something like that. But I think he literally stated Final Fantasy VII remake news. So
Okay, hey, I
we'll
mean, I'm
probably
certainly
hear something about part
certainly
two.
not angry about that.
Yeah, we'll probably hear something about part two, which is good.
God, I hope
Um,
so. Like, this is why, up until we started doing this, June is my favorite time for game music. Now it's still my favorite time, but also very busy.
yeah, it is. Um, Another thing we might hear next month. There's a rumor going around that Forspoken may be delayed again just to clear space for 16.
So I saw this written down, and my first gut instinct is they're not delaying that game again. And then I recognized, well, if you're letting the next mainline Final Fantasy title out, yeah, you kind of have to make room, or whatever's launched in that time period is going to die a an easily avoidable death.
Yeah. This
So
this goes along with exactly what I was saying.
it does.
All
Like
right,
I
this
thought
is
that
just a rumor.
maybe, but it's one that makes sense, right? I thought that
Yeah,
maybe they decided to push it into like early next year, at the latest. Admittedly, I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. But if this rumor ends up getting more steam and is validated in any way, that all but cements a late fall, early winter release for 16.
yeah. Like I said, this is exactly because like Yoshi P is a very literal person. He says he wants to show us something, and then he wants us to be able to pre-order it like pretty much right after, and then he it to be in our hands just just a few months after or whatever. They announced it in June. It has a fall release date. We were able to pre-order it literally the day that they showed the trailer. That's I mean, they push back Forspoken to like January of next year. I
Yeah,
could easily foresee that happening. Um,
yeah. I think it's definitely. I mean, to be fair, it's safer to get the new game out, but
mhm.
it's more sensible to get the sure bet game out for that holiday money.
Well, here's another thing. It gives extra time for Forspoken to have all of the quality work done on it, all of the passes that it needs to get. All right. While we already know that Yoshi P and their team are actually really fucking on point when it comes to quality checking. Um, and
Yeah,
we
that's a big thing. They didn't even announce this game until they had footage to show that looked great.
yeah they didn't even show they didn't even like announce the game until they were able to show gameplay. So
God, I love that team so much.
I'm just saying, all hail Yoshi P. Obviously, he can mess up a few times, but 9 times out of 10, he does good. He knows how to run stuff. All right. If there's anybody at Square Enix that I have more than like enough faith in, it's him and everybody at fucking business unit, creative business unit 3. So I just want to know who all is working on the game. That's actually all I want to know.
True, because at this point, we recognize we were not going to have. We at the earliest will not have it until November. November. When is Forspoken's release? It was November, right?
Well, Forspoken is October like 11th, I think.
Okay, so it's October. So we know that 16 isn't coming out before that.
I mean, it
So
could, but
yeah, I mean,
it depends. Like I said, it depends on time. They might be like the game comes out like end of August. All right, like 16 comes out the end of August. They they just might want to clear like the rest of the year for 16 because obviously not everybody's going to be able to pick it up when it comes out because it's PS5 only.
oh god, I'm gonna be able to.
Yeah,
Oh
same here.
man, that first week is gonna suck for my productivity.
um and it's going to be like there's going to be a gigantic explosion of people buying it like when it first comes out, and then like a probably a large like steady stream from there on. I mean, even like during the holiday season because people will be like, "Well, I can wait until Christmas to get it." So,
I mean, you can, but
why would you?
God, I couldn't do that to myself.
I couldn't do it. That This is a day one buy for me.
I
This is
straight up had nothing good to say about 15. I still bought that like day 3.
I this is a day one buy for me.
A 100%.
This is a take at least 3 days off for me of work. Um, this is I will probably put actually you want to know what's really fucked up? When 15 came out, I beat that the first day it came out. All right, I
Wait.
spent I beat 15 the first day it came out. It took
I
me like
recognize
20.
it was short, but
It took me 26 hours.
I platinumed that game on my first playthrough, so my ideas are a bit skewed. It took
Yeah,
me my usual about 100 hours, but I did it.
I
So I didn't realize how short the game was, though. Admittedly, the story did feel short and jumpy.
well, I mean, at a certain point, it's literally it actually turned into hallway simulator. So,
It did, yes, that is true.
um, I, I it was like the first 2 days it came out because I stayed up that night, played until
As
like
any good fan would.
yeah, played until like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, went to sleep, woke up, played it from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock the next day. So
Oh, yeah, fair.
like I stayed like I don't actually mean 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean 6 o'clock p.m. the next day. So I went from 2 p.m. I stayed up for an extra 24 hours after that. I didn't go to bed until like 6 p.m. the next day. So
Imagine we did all this and we rag all over that game.
yeah, I know. It was okay. It wasn't like a
Um,
horrible game, but it was like I think I had more fun playing 13-2 than I did playing um 15. Now I will say this, if the platforming in that game was like a lot better or whatever, um I would've like, cause I actually enjoy the dungeon where you don't fight anything and you just literally, like, platform while you go
yeah,
through the
the
dungeon or
platform
whatever.
dungeon. Yeah, yeah.
If platforming was a lot better, like, cause I actually enjoyed that dungeon, even though Noctis is fucking hard as shit to control in that area. I actually enjoyed the shit out of that dungeon. Oh, if there was more of that and the platforming was just a little bit better in uh, that game would've probably went up at least a point. Because I actually really fucking loved that dungeon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I went into that game with so much negative bias after years and years of keeping up with what I saw and watching
Yeah.
every change happen that I'll openly admit this. Like I went in like with a negative mindset and came out after giving it my best effort. Like I platinumed the game. Like I literally gave it all it had, and then when the DLCs came out, I played all of them. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I still think mostly mostly trash, and it comes down to as much as I do blame Nomura, them just not finishing it the first time because I think that his initial idea was a good one,
Yeah. Um, I
and
don't
he apparently he thinks so too because he's put it in 2 to 3 other games.
I I don't fully think of like, so it's Nomura's fault in the fact that it took so long for it to come out, alright? Um, but after he was taken off of it or whatever, it's he like, his hands are washed clean of that, alright? He was taken off of it, he has nothing else to do with it, alright? All the other blame goes on Tabata, um, because when he took over, it was also like a living nightmare.
Yeah,
Um,
like I recognize that that game itself was cursed.
yeah. But like I said, it's okay. I never go back to play it. I'm like, it's one of those games where I'm just like, I played it once. That's all I need. I played the DLC. That's all I need to do.
Mhm.
I didn't even touch the Arden DLC, and that's probably the best DLC.
Yeah, it's a toss up between that and
And
Ignis, and
Ignis, yeah,
like genuinely Audens was also spectacular.
yeah.
God, it was good.
But yeah, rumor Forspoken may be delayed. Honestly, if it's going to be delayed, we'll probably know about it next month. Um,
True, true,
because
true.
because because I believe fully that next month we will get the release date for 16. Next up, some more upcoming maybe news. Star Wars KOTOR remake. News will be coming in the next several months, says the Embracer Group, who owns Aspire. So
Yeah, it's real. Like I can't tell because this isn't their normal thing, but it has been nice that since the merger, they've immediately gone about having pretty consistent news on their titles, and this is one
hmm
that we've all been excited for since before we saw the trailer when this was just a rumor.
yeah.
So, oof, I'm happy that this is coming straight from Embracer's mouth because I cannot wait.
And Embracer is also eyeing possible Tomb Raider and or Deus Ex remakes. And
Correct.
I don't mean like new Tomb Raider remake.
Yeah, they're gonna go
Which
back to the originals.
yeah, original PS1 Tomb Raider remake. Which I mean
So,
is okay, I guess. I don't see
well,
a real
here's
point
the
in it.
thought process, and I know this because I'm a boomer now, and
hmm
I understand where the head's coming from. So, as I get older, I care less and less for the new things that are coming out. I don't dislike what's coming out. I
hmm
just am less enthused, and I find myself falling into the bracket that I think, um, not game development, but maybe the executives of the development studios have really been pushing for these last few years, where I kind of just I do want remakes. I
Yeah,
didn't I
yeah.
didn't until very recently. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, I think we've hit the point where I do want you to go back, and I don't just want you to go back and remake the last of wait,
I
but
do
no,
not want that.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I think that's a fairly useless waste of time
That's
because
cash grab.
I think the first one is still fine,
That's cash
but the
grab is what that
concept,
is.
oh, 100%. The concept of going back to doing like Deus Ex is brilliant. That
Yeah.
game is still beloved for the story, and mayhaps the graphics and gameplay aren't quite up to par nowadays.
Hmm.
And it would be a joy to go back through that again in a modern sense, in so long as they haven't, tweaked too much to the point of it's not recognizable anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bit less so for Tomb
Tomb
Raider
Raider.
because I find the early Tomb Raider games to be entirely aware of what they are. They
Yeah.
are an adventure game with a really hot lead.
And
There is
I think
story, but
And I think the first, at least the first, like I think most of the PS1 and PS2 Tomb Raiders actually have um aged pretty well. They're not too horrible. The what's the word? The controls for it are obviously really tanky controls.
sure, sure, sure.
But outside of that, I mean the graphics were never really the standpoint when it comes to Tomb Raider. It was you were a hot lead and you were just shooting fucking like bad guys.
Dinosaurs, admittedly.
Dinosaurs, yeah.
That's always what I remember.
I every time I think of Tomb Raider now, I just think of the meme that they've copied from Big Lebowski or whatever of of Laura walks into a cave full of dinosaurs that survived the fucking that survived the extinction, and she's just like, cocking her gun going, shame. It's a shame.
Shame, yeah.
um
No, yeah,
yeah,
I think it'd be great.
yeah. I would welcome a remake of Tomb Raider, but I also think we don't fully need it considering we have the reboot series.
Yes, yes. I think that's for Tomb Raider, especially the older ones, I think that's actually a pretty fair argument. I know a lot of people are not going to share that
Mhm.
opinion though.
Yeah.
But I think despite my distaste for some of the aspects of the new Tomb Raiders, they do really well to like tell a story and be more than just bang
Torture porn.
bang. But hey, sometimes you just want something simple.
Yeah.
Embracer, Embracer, remake Legacy of Kain. Don't touch the voices, don't touch the music. Literally, just make it look pretty.
They will touch the voices in the music. They're gonna revoice it,
I'd
hopefully with the
rather,
same
I'd
voices.
rather they didn't because I think maybe a fifth of that cast is dead,
Just
including
get good voice actors.
admittedly, like the the Legacy of Kain cast was stunning.
No, this
That
is what
that
you do. This is what you do.
oh
You just hire the entire cast of Critical Role.
no, I would genuinely not want to hear that.
You wouldn't want to
I
hear
I would
Laura
want
Bailey?
I
Isn't Laura
genuinely
Bailey
want.
already playing it?
No,
I
you're
thought she was
thinking of
playing.
Blood Rain.
Yeah, I am thinking of Blood Rain. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want an older cast on Legacy of Kain. I want a bunch of older voices
Uh,
voicing those like timeless. I don't mean that in like a nostalgic way. I mean like these are just they're weird entities that do not obey time.
all right. All right.
And by the
Uh,
way, I fucking love the Critical Role cast, and they need to do more prelay. This is just not the project I want them on.
They need to do more voice work in general.
I just I wouldn't mind for that. Like they had the Legend of Vox Machina, which was great because that is
I need to
prelay.
watch that. Yeah.
Same. I want them to do more like that, where they're not restricted by lip flaps. I want what they have written to dictate the animation. I want them to
Yeah.
just cut loose and have fun.
Yeah. Um Santa Monica Studio revealed the other day, God of War Ragnarok's accessibility options. There's like 60 plus
Yeah,
accessibility.
it was
There's
super impressive.
fucking list of it, and it's ridiculous. I mean, anything from very easy to read subtitles to um very easy to control like color contrast points in the game. It honestly looked great. And this is something a lot of first party Sony games have been like ridiculously good at is
That's what I was going to bring up. It's like this is a Sony first party specialty at this point.
Yeah, they're
They have this down to a science.
for as much as I didn't like playing The Last of Us Part 2, um
God, it was
the
accessible though.
the accessibility options are really good. So,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
yeah.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Serge Tankian tweeted out the other day that was working on a song for Metal Hellsinger, which is a I guess a Doom like game
It looks
where
that way, yeah.
where you kill things off the beat of heavy metal music, pretty much. You actually literally have to kill to the beat. Which is pretty nice. I mean, I mean, Serge Tankian is a great performer. The singer of System of a Down, and he has his own like solo stuff as well.
It was the weirdest thing because when you originally linked the trailer, or at least what he
Mhm.
had uploaded, I listened to it without like properly reading the description. I was like, is this an AMV?"
Yeah, because it's like equally matched up to the music of the person you're killing.
Exactly.
But that's like the whole point of the game is to do
Yes,
that.
just so.
You
There was
you do
another
more
game that
damage and
came out.
everything to it.
Yeah, there was another game that came out recently. I believe it had a Norse theme that had the exact same concept. It didn't look like it was quite as Doom centric, but it was one of those that you shoot on beat for like best effect or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I
So
think it only got like
it's a fun little genre that's coming out, and I mean, why not have Serge take part in it? It's going to be a banging soundtrack, I guess.
yeah. I'm actually interested to see who else is going to be involved with it because I know Surge is not going to be the only person they get for it. But also Metal Hellsinger is something that we've been seeing for the past like fucking 4 years, and we're just trying to figure out when it's going to fucking come out. So, yeah. We're gonna get into like a small list of stuff that's being announced to happen during our lovely Hell week of gaming news. Future game
Announcements
show,
for announcements.
yeah. Future game show is going to be broadcasted on Saturday, June 11th. PC game show is going to air on June 12th. For anybody that doesn't know, PC game show is the show where we get to watch Day 9 do a bunch of dumb shit. Um,
You're not wrong.
I mean that's honestly a Day 9 stream. Period. And you know what? I actually cannot see Day 9 without him talking about fucking trumpets. All right, it is
Okay.
it it is. I need to show you that clip actually. It's ridiculous. Back when he had like when he was doing Day 9 TV and all that shit or whatever, he was talking about like music and he was talking about like how this one song that he was listening to, he's like this song is like you're on a date, getting into it, you're talking back and forth and everything, and at one point in the song like trumpets start and he goes and fucking trumpets and he just starts fucking doing a trumpet dance or whatever. It's hilarious. I'll have to show you after.
For sure, for sure.
Uh, we get into a now long list of Blizzard fucking shit.
Here we go.
Blizzard faces another lawsuit. This one is now on loot boxes in Hearthstone. I mean, this is obviously going to happen at some point in time with a bunch of people fucking throwing out lawsuits on pretty much anything that has loot boxes now. I specifically, when it comes to Hearthstone, don't think that their card pack stuff is too bad. It's honestly
Actually, I
like
think it's horrendous, but I think they are completely safe in this case
yeah, I think they are too.
because baseball cards exist, and
Baseball, no
that has always
card
been the defense for
cards
this.
exist. Cards exist. Period. Like Pokemon cards are the same way. Fucking
Well, yeah, exactly. Like trading cards exist.
yeah,
That's
trading
what I
cards.
should have said.
This is just online version. I mean, I don't think this matters at all. I
Yeah,
think this will
this has
also.
always been the refuge, and I think genuinely, when especially for something like Hearthstone, which is just literally a digital extension of that, they will win this handily.
Yeah.
But I think Hearthstone is actually incredibly scummy with the way it does cards.
hmm Now we're gonna get into talking about the unionization over at Raven Software, the U.S. Labor
Let's
Board.
go!
The U.S. Labor Board prosecutors believe that Activision Blizzard has been threatening staff illegally over unionization efforts, which then, in turn, like the next day, Raven Software announced that their employees win their union election, making the biggest U.S. video games first major union. It was like 19 votes to 19 votes yes to 3 no, but also Activision Blizzard responds saying that the decision affecting the entire studio should not be made by 19 Raven employees, which I mean, it's made by the majority of the staff there. So, yeah, I think it should. But yeah, Raven Software now has a union, which is good. What is it? It's the first video game union, pretty much.
I believe this is the first, well, at least American,
Yeah.
if nothing else, video game union, yes.
And I mean, I'm not surprised that it happened. I'm surprised it didn't get shut down handedly. But
Yes, I think a lot of people will agree with you in that fact, because it's just been how it went up until this point.
yeah. But yeah, congrats to Raven Software. Hopefully they can this union can rectify some change in that studio and fuck Activision Blizzard. Norman Reedus drops that there is going to be a sequel to Death Stranding. That he's working on a sequel, or he's working on a new game with another game with
Exactly.
Koji Pro. But let's be real here; it's probably Death Stranding too.
So yeah, that's the correct takeaway from this. He didn't specifically give a title. He was speaking in reference to Death Stranding already. So I
Mhm.
think it's inferred, or it's understandably inferred, that when he says a sequel, he clearly is talking about Death Stranding 2. I leave some room for doubt because I know what it's like for actors to work on multiple titles with an individual.
Yeah,
And
especially
Norman
Koji.
has, especially Koshi, Norman has technically worked on both Silent Hills and Death Stranding, so it's maybe possible that this is in reference to all that Silent Hill shenanigans we've been seeing.
If
But
he's working on it,
as you said, it is more than likely. It is like
yeah.
99% that this is actually a Death Stranding 2. And I saw some people getting a little bent out of shape that he leaked this. But yeah, I don't expect much better from people who aren't a part of the industry. Like, this
Uh,
is just and whoops, I talked too late one time. And
Why do people care if okay, so why do outside people care that if somebody leaks something? Usually people fucking other than the people that are actually involved with it or whatever.
exactly, except for
Usually
the
people are like,
project.
"Holy shit, they leaked something and this is so cool." Like there's news, there's something something about it. Like I'd have fuck honestly at this point in time, I'm not saying anybody should do it, but I'm not going to say that I wouldn't like a leak of the 16 trailer. I'd much prefer Yoshi P be in control of that, but I'm not going to say no to not. I'm not going to not watch it if a leak came out of it. But
I
I don't.
don't think I have the willpower. I think I agree with you.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and no. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. No, fuck no. I'm literally going to click on the link and I'm going to sit there and watch the trailer. Now, that being said, I would much rather Yoshi P release it when he is good and ready, and that people over at Creative Business Unit 3 needs to not leak shit. Which I don't think they haven't had too much of a problem with that, other than like a couple of things with 14. That also being said, people just need to shut the fuck up. Norman Reed is saying that he's working on a new game with Kojima. Who cares? He's working on a new game with Kojima. Be happy. Did you like him in Death Stranding? Well, good. He's going to be in Death Stranding 2, or he's going to be in a new game. He's a fucking good actor. Like, I mean, and
Can
he's
you
like,
imagine if it is just a new game and he's heavily hinting at Death Stranding 2? Like,
I mean,
oh,
yeah.
huh.
But I mean, Norman Reedus is a good actor. He's like, oh, like literally, like him and Mads Mikkelsen are like best friends with Kojima. So I mean,
I didn't play enough of Death Stranding to get the Mads in a
so
meaningful way.
this is a good thing. You have PS Plus, don't you?
No, I currently don't.
Oh well, when you can re-up it for I think like maybe like $4 or $5 extra. I don't even think that um when the new PlayStation Plus program
Yes,
comes
yes,
out,
I
and
will.
you'll be able to get the director's cut for free. So, and you'll have it on the nice PS5 and be able to play the game
Hey.
pretty well. Like I already have it for PC and I've played like a couple hours of it or whatever, but as soon as I saw that Death Stranding director's cut was on it, I was like, okay, we're never playing the PC version anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, look forward to that. Speaking of best friends of Kojima, according to Jeff Keighley, EA was set to merge with NBC Universal, but the deal fell apart sometime in April. EA is actually apparently really trying to sell or merge with another company right now.
Yeah. So my opinion on this differs from everyone else whose opinion probably means a whole lot more. A lot of people think this is a genuine attempt to merge or sell. Uh, I think the preference is merge so that Kotick keeps his position in the company.
This is EA.
Oh, not
Is
Kotick.
Kotick part?
Not Kotick. Is it Andrew Wilson?
Is
It's
Andrew
so
Wilson part?
it's so one of them keeps their position within the company is what I've heard going around. I have a different take on this.
Yeah.
I actually have two takes on this. One which is in slight agreement, and one which is not at all in agreement. And the idea that is separate from everyone else is I genuinely think this is just EA finding out their market value.
Oh yeah.
This is just a way of saying, okay, they probably won't actually buy us, but let's see what people think. Let's see what other people who are valued at a higher rate than we are feel that we are worth. And the other idea is, I mean, it's entirely possible maybe they want out. I've been talking with a couple of people about this, and I was thinking that maybe the executive rollover is starting to happen.
Oh, true. Yeah.
People starting to age out and not want to be a part of the games industry, and maybe genuinely take what they have now, add it to whatever they've saved up, and sit upon their golden hoard like the dragons that they all are. Uh,
Yeah.
because I mean that's why you sell, so all the employees still have a job, they can go there and whatever, but you take your windfall and leave. As an executive and as like an older shareholder, if the shareholders choose to not stay after the merger, and I have no reason to believe this. Everything we've seen throughout any business shows that people like to be there until they die because more and more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a thought that's kind of been sitting in my head. It's like, a lot of the executives are getting older. There are some obviously some younger ones, but maybe this is what we're seeing is people finally deciding I would like out, but I would like to keep shares in the company, so I want the company to continue to do well. So we'll sell it off to someone who will continue to make products, and I can just let my money make money, and I don't have to have any part of it. I don't have to sit on any board. I don't have to have my once a month meeting, whatever, and I can just be finished. Just food for thought.
Yeah. Uh,
In reality, given the way the not community, the industry currently is, maybe they genuinely do just want to sell. It
I
seems
mean
that
that's
everyone does now, so
yeah.
I
Everybody's just been
genuinely don't know.
can we get a buyout happen? And like literally every company right now. I'm just like, oh my
It's
god, this
literally why I think that
is
there's a rollover of executive power, and older shareholders that just finally want out.
yeah.
But it's the only reason I have.
Yeah, well, according to Devolver Digital, someone's gonna buy EA and then find out there's like 10 more smaller purchases after you own it just to get all the content.
I love their community management and their fucking PR so much.
They're gamers. They know.
Just
They're
oh,
legit gamers. Dude, I love Devolver
it's
Digital
so
so much.
good.
Some of the games that they publish may not be like very good or whatever, but like they have outstanding presence when it comes to community management.
Oh yeah, they talk a great game. It's grand.
Um so Kazuma Kiryu finally gets a gun. They're finally handing him a gun. Well, not him, but they're finally handing his suit a gun.
I feel like I've seen Kiryu kick a man in the kneecap and shoot him in the chest. I feel like I've seen this. I feel like he's definitely used a gun before.
I'm not 100% sure cuz I haven't been through many Yakuza games, but I know that the overarching things about Kiryu are he never wants to use a gun
That I
and he
believe.
doesn't hit women.
That is why he wasn't in Tekken.
Yeah.
By the way, in case anyone wants to know,
Yeah.
turns out the writer was like, yeah, but what if he has to fight a woman? We don't. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Uh
Apparently, there's a cheese in Like a Dragon where he he's a boss, but he still won't hit a woman. So you can figure out that cheese for yourself, I guess.
yeah. Anyway, Rainbow Six Siege is gonna have Kazuma Kiryu and Kaori Sayama skins for Echo and Hibana.
Yeah,
So
so you get to go through causing hell with your favorite two Yakuza members.
yep. Uh so even after 10 years, due to a resurgence of memes, Metal Gear Rising has seen a spike of concurrent players by 1,000%.
That is mad, and I genuinely don't know why it spiked this hard. The memes never died, Jack. The memes. So
Yeah,
I thought if this spike was going to happen, it was going to happen directly after Stranger of Paradise.
I mean it kind of did.
I guess yeah. I guess it's still pretty fresh still, and this could just be people seeing the comparisons. Um, Whatever the case may be, I love this. I remember when Resurgence, Revengeance came out, or sorry, Rising came out, and I was super unimpressed with this because that's not my Metal Gear. Uh, Turns out, no, it's not my Metal Gear, and it's all the better for it.
Yeah.
So,
Um
may new memes be born from this.
yeah, and I mean my source on this is that I made it the fuck up.
Wait, what?
That's a meme. That's a Metal Gear Rising theme. The
Okay,
president
just checking because there's a chance
no,
you
no,
were just fucking with me.
no. The reference for Rising is
What's my source? I made
you
it the
made it the
fuck up.
fuck up.
Dude, the Armstrong memes are strong.
I have that down. I have it downloaded on my computer, and I do plan to like actually sit down and play through it. Because I never have played it through it, but I have seen like a majority of the memes for the game, and it's ridiculous.
The game itself is really good so long as you don't use guns.
Well, I mean, you're
Just
playing
be a
Raiden,
ninja.
man.
Yep, just embrace the ninja. You can do some stealthy stuff. It's a shame the best character is the DLC only, but
Hmm.
Jack's pretty good too.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, and I've seen like you know what's actually a good help with that. I've seen a lot of content creators play Metal Gear Rising lately. Connor played it right lately. Zentria played it lately on stream.
That
So
could do it. That's usually how games
those
take off nowadays. Especially
those
games that have like died or have already been through their prime, rather.
yeah, both of those people have and a very extended reach on the internet, which then makes other people want to play video games. So I mean, yeah, I plan on playing on some point in time, but I play too many video games. Like right now, I'm replaying a fucking video game that I played 2 to 3 years ago, albeit in Japanese, but uh, I'm still playing it again. So anyway. The other day we got a new trailer for Pal World. That is the Pokemon with Guns video game. As
It's wild.
hard as it is for me to say it, but this game literally looks. They showed off some new shit. Now this game has a bit of a Valheim mechanic to it, where
Yes,
you're
I would
able to
say
now
so.
build shit. I mean, it looks a lot like Fortnite meets Pokemon meets Valheim. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm probably gonna play this game just to fucking try it. It doesn't look bad. It looks like there's a lot of work that's went into this.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but I am pleasantly surprised by what I'm seeing. Also terribly confused, but in a
Yeah,
good way, I guess.
dude,
I was not
Peta's gonna
prepared for this.
fucking hate this game. Peta is
Oh,
gonna fucking hate
100%.
this game. They already don't like Pokemon. Now you're putting now you're shooting Pokemon pretty much. Yeah, they're not gonna like this game. this is this is literally Poacher the game, pretty
Yeah,
much.
kinda.
Um, but I mean, I'm interested, and it actually kind of looks fun. Depending on what they actually sell it at, might be the breaking point on like how much I'll actually want to play it. I don't think this will be a $60 game, so we will see. Um, I'm not gonna do this last bit of news that we have on here just yet because we have a couple other things. Capcom
Fair,
launched
fair.
a website for Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary, yeah.
That means we're getting Dragon Dogma 2 pretty soon.
To be fair, that was promised, and
Yep.
Capcom would that'd be a dick move to take that away from him. So
Yeah, he
I know
literally said, "I will
it
make
was one of
DMC 5,
exactly.
but right after I'm making Dragon's Dogma 2." So,
Let the man have his passion project. Unlike a lot of passion projects, this was well received. I am not the biggest fan of Dragon's Dogma. I thought it was okay. A lot of people loved this game.
yeah.
So honestly, there's no reason not to do a sequel anyway.
I mean, it's been 10 years since the first game. This game's gonna be a fuck ton more modern.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
which means it's probably gonna it might actually be like a lot hell of a lot better than the original one.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I'll probably pick this one up on principle given the team I assume to be working on it.
yeah. And let's be real, we already know they're actually working on it because not only did he make the deal that if he made DMC5 he gets to make Dragon's Dogma right after, but it was leaked. There's a big Capcom
That
leak.
is true.
It was on the
Yeah.
list. and it's been and everything on that list has pretty much been announced. So, um other than that, we got so Seth Green was making a Bored Ape NFT movie. Uh but his Bored Ape NFT got it's questionable on if it got stolen because on a technical count you can't actually steal an NFT, but I think he accidentally sold it.
Oh no, it was stolen. He didn't receive a dime. Receive a dime. It was fished. The little hex code or whatever code you get with it was fished off of it, and someone else has it, and it has locked him out of it. So it is now theirs.
Anyway, I mean, let's be real here. I love Seth Green, but fuck you for trying to make an NFT fucking movie. Like really.
I like Seth Green. Depends
I
on what
think
he's
he's
working on,
funny. I think
but
he's funny.
um, it's 50-50 when he turns up. There's a lot of things I don't like him in. There's a lot of things I do like him in. Um, this was a movie that I was going to hope flopped anyway on principle.
Hmm.
So I get a horrible kind of Schadenfreude from this, like where I just can't help but giggle. Uh, but I mean, it sucks. Like you got robbed. That genuinely does suck. But the world is probably better for it.
Yeah. Yeah, the world is probably definitely better for it. Leak posted a trailer to a Line Monster Farm game for Android and iOS. Uh
Yes, line game.
it's in Japanese, so I have no idea what I have no idea what this is. So
Uh, Best as I can tell, it looked like a Monster Rancher title.
okay.
Because I recognized all the monsters. I don't know what kind of game this is in terms of
It's gotcha. Let's be real here.
well, like that's the like it's mobile, so that is always going to be my very first assumption. But we didn't see any aspect of that, though. Admittedly, we didn't see much. So
No, it was just an opening animation, opening trailer. So
it looks super cute, and I love Monster Rancher. But I mean, you're right; it probably is a gotcha.
yeah.
More to come on
Um.
that.
Yeah. And last but not least, Grasshopper Studios, which is ran by Suda, the guy that makes No More Heroes. They said they have something truly cool to announce later on this year. I believe that because I mean the guy literally made No More Heroes, which is honestly probably what the epitome of a cool video game is.
So Suda 51 makes cool games.
Yeah.
No More Heroes is cool. Travis is 50-50, but he's so confident that you
Yeah.
can't help but be on his side.
Yeah.
Because he's also cringe as hell. But
Oh.
again, that confidence, so
Oh.
good. Also,
You can. You can. He's voiced by what?
he's voiced by Rad, Robert Atkin Downs, and he kills it every time.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can be as cringe as you want, as long as you're confident about it. All right.
I guess so.
Um, I mean, as long as the cringe doesn't go into like creepy, but like you can be like cringe.
Yeah, because Travis is a weeb. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I actually can't wait for No More Heroes 3 to actually hit everything else that isn't Switch. So I can play it. I mean, it's already
That's a
been announced for it.
series. That's a series I would like to see ported to other things from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I
Um,
think that would have a much wider audience nowadays if, people could play it.
I haven't played the first two, but I hear the third one's really good, but it would be like better if it's not on the Switch.
I mean, that's almost
Every
always
game.
true
It's
of
every
any
game.
game.
That's every game. Every game
Yeah.
would be better off. Like I was going to play Disgaea 6 or whatever because I see that it's actually pretty fun. But it was on the Switch. And now that it has been announced for everything else that isn't the Switch, I will just wait to play that then. But yeah, everything would be better if it was on the Switch. So, um, please release Monolith Soft from the Nintendo hell, please, please. Uh, that's all we have for news this week. Actually, it was very not very long. And we actually
No,
hit
and
the
this is
points pretty quickly.
expected.
Yeah.
This is expected, especially being amongst the final weeks of May going into June, where all of the juicy information is. So
Oh, God, man, I'm looking forward to it and not looking forward to it at the same time.
it's gonna be it's gonna be big, if for no other reasons than because of the amounts of delays we've had over the last handful of months. Because
Yeah.
June means reveals, updates, and uh, teases. So
Mhm.
like, there's just going to be so much to take in. There always is. So it's like the most wonderful time for games, except that we have to cover it. So we're going
Yeah.
to be busy.
I wish we were in a better position to like watch as it's happening, but
Yeah, I mean, a shame we're spread out as we are, because mayhaps the trip to the IMAX was in order.
yeah, mayhaps a trip to the IMAX. I mean, okay, so the IMAX only covers Summer Games Fest. I mean, that's probably not going to cover anything Sony because I mean,
No, it's not
Sony's
gonna cover anything else. But it would have been nice to have like one thing with like all of us together, just being absolutely.
yeah. I'm waiting for Sony to reveal their thing because they're like I said, I'm on the 80% train of Sony maybe actually buying Square Enix, and them. I mean, honestly, they might not reveal it until then. If
I don't
they
know. This is one
if
of
they do,
those rumors that I don't know where to stand on because I've heard it before in the past and it's always made sense, but
yeah,
it just never has happened. So
yep. But that's it. What are you doing this week, Dollet?
working way too much in very hot weather. But aside from that, it'll be more Cold Steel where I can, Vampire Survivors when I can't, and TFT because the new set hits the PBE this week. I don't do PBE stuff, but I will absolutely be soaking in all the content and continuing to do the farewell tour for set 6.5 anyway.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Obvi- uh, Obviously going to be playing Cold Steel 4.
Correct, correct.
Because I've started it, now I've got to finish it. Um, on Other than that, I did buy Hajimari for PC
I
earlier
noticed
today.
that
It was on sale for $35. Um, and it
already.
comes.
Well, I guess it's not already.
Well, no, this game's been out for over a year. Um,
Yeah, I guess so.
uh, what pushed me to actually buy it was it comes with the Beyond Reverie DLC, so I don't have to pay an extra $40 on my um console version to play the Beyond Reverie DLC. I can just go through it. Also, I've inputted the English injection patch into the game, so I now don't have to actually look at uh at the spreadsheet for it. Is just actually in my game. And that covers most of the menus too. Um, so that's pretty nice. So I'll probably be playing that at some point after I play Cold Steel 4. But this also means I can force you to play it. So
Wait, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Not
all
until
right.
that's in English.
What do you mean not until that's in English?
Nope, that's how I'm getting out of this. I will play it once it's in English.
Yeah, but that's in like a year.
Isn't it? Oh, well, that frees me up for so many other games to play.
Well, what other games? There's no other games coming out. We don't have any
Yeah,
confirmations for other games, so let's be real.
let's wait a week and a half before we say that, shall we?
Yeah. But if you got this far and you liked hearing us talk about shit, give us a like and a subscribe. If not, then bye, I guess. But yeah.
Tell us why you don't like us. Hit the unlike button or dislike,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah, hit
Just,
the dislike button. Yeah, please.
maybe we'll change. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe though. Let us know.
Please just comment on us. I mean, if you want to just say that we're fucking stupid or something like that, that's honestly fine with me. That's interaction. So, but yeah, we're gonna see you guys next week, and we'll hopefully have a leak next week. So,
She'll be back, don't you worry. You will be good in the meantime.
later.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.